Hello everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike, and we are back for part 2 of Neither One Thing Nor the Other. It ain't that thing, it ain't that other thing. I don't know what it is. That's what we're talking about, hybrid animals. And if you're a farmer and you see some weird animal, you might explain it as being a hybrid. And we will actually discover hybrid animals that come from the farm. They don't just come from zoos and weird places like that, like the Taichungs and the ligers that we saw yesterday. Of course, these animals, tigers and lions, wouldn't meet up in the wild very frequently or at all, but in zoos this does happen. And so today we're going to be looking at some of the more unusual hybrid animals. If you thought Taichungs were weird, you ain't seen nothing yet. But there is actually one animal that's a hybrid that most of us have probably seen or heard of. It's very common. We're talking about mules. If you take a donkey and a horse, they can have babies, they can breed, and they will also create hybrids like Taichungs and ligers, and like those big cat hybrids, mules also can't have babies. So you can make them, but then you have to keep making them because there are no natural mule babies out there in the world. Why do they make mules? I think mules were made because donkeys can be very, very strong and can walk and carry things for a long distance. But donkeys are famous for being kind of grumpy and like not doing things when you want them to do. So if you mix that with a horse, which is a little bit bigger and also a little bit calmer and a little bit more friendly, that's why mules are very, very important animals for lifting and carrying and pulling things even today. And they are also a hybrid, like the ones we're going to meet today. So wait for a few seconds, sit down, buckle up, because we're going to be looking at some weird and wonderful animal mixes in part 2 of Neither One Thing Nor the Other.
Growler bears. Stories of this beast, half grizzly, half polar bear, have been reported in Canada for centuries. However, it was only proven to exist in 2006 after one was shot and its DNA was tested. As the parent species' territories begin to overlap due to global warming, growler bears will likely become far more common. Camas. Half South American llama, half Middle Eastern camel, camas are the special creation of a breeding center in Dubai. First created in 1998, camas were designed to be as strong as a camel, but with the mild personality and wool-producing abilities of a llama.
All right, neither one thing nor the other. So what is it? Well, with the next animal, I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. I should just say it. It's scary. This is frightening. I had never heard of this animal until I read its name. As soon as I read its name, I did about 2 seconds of word math in my head, and I went, oh, no. Yes, growler bears. Growler bears, all right? Take the 2 biggest, scariest bears, mix them together. I'm sure nothing bad will happen when we do that. Stories of this beast. Notice it's called a beast, not an animal. Stories of this beast, half grizzly, half polar bear, have been reported in Canada for centuries. Now you might wonder, Mike, you're from Canada. Why do you live in Taiwan? Growler bears. That's why I came to Taiwan. I found out about them. I said, I am leaving Canada. Where don't they have growler bears? Taiwan? I'm going to Taiwan because growler bears are terrifying. And apparently they have been around for centuries, for hundreds of years, because yes, they might actually meet in nature, right? Grizzlies live in sort of the southern central part of Canada, polar bears up in the north, but during the summer, everyone goes on holiday and they might meet somewhere and have a little romance. It says, however, it was only proven to exist in 2006 after one was shot and its DNA was tested. It was shot, probably trying to eat everyone because it's a growler bear. And it's terrifying. And anyway, so they tested the DNA and basically they found genes from both grizzly bears and polar bears This is clearly a new thing, a growler bear. As the parent species territories begin to overlap due to global warming, growler bears will likely become far more common. Oh no, well it's true, as we've heard, the ice in the north is melting. Polar bears can't get out on the ice to go hunting, so they're moving south. The grizzly bears might be moving north because where they live is getting warmer. Their territory is getting smaller, but the chances of finding a growler bear in your backyard is going way, way up. That's, of course, if you live in bear territory. When we talk about territory, we're talking about land, basically an area of land that might be sort of controlled or dominated, or you find this type of thing in this part of the land, in this area of the country, in this territory. It's not a word we often use when talking about, cities and where people live, but where nature happens, where different parts of the geography of the country might change, the mountain territory. This is more farming territory. This is the kind of thing we're talking about. And also where animals are found, right? The different territory, or sort of the areas where the animals go in their normal daily lives. That is different territory. For example, we were careful not to cross over into the mountain lions territory. Yes, leave that territory to the mountain lions and the growler bears. All right, so now we've gone to the most terrifying option for hybrid animals. Let's look at something a little nicer, a little cuter, and much less likely to eat us. We're talking about commas. What is a comma? Well, again, look at the name, take the first part, take the second part, and maybe you can figure it out. It says half South American llama, half Middle Eastern camel. Commas are the special creation of a breeding center in Dubai. Okay, so again, this creation was made through the help of people. People had to get involved here because, of course, llamas are from the Andes in South America. Camels are from North Africa, the Sahara Desert. Yeah, unless they take a really long and expensive holiday, they're not going to meet. But humans can get involved to be responsible for this creation. And what is a creation? It's something new that has been made. You might think of an artist and their newest creation. You could talk about a writer. Their newest book is a new creation, or a scientist, an inventor coming up with a new machine. What is this? It's my new creation. It's a time machine or something like that. So basically, if you make something and it's new and it's original, ta-da, this is your creation, or the making of something new as well. For example, the new policy is expected to aid job creation. We're going to be making jobs, which is great because people need jobs, so that's nice. Back to the comma, it says first created in 1998, so commas aren't very old. Commas were designed to be as strong as a camel, but with the mild personality and wool-producing abilities of a llama. Okay, that's not a bad idea, but this is something, of course, scientists and breeders were doing. They thought camels are great because they're big and can walk for miles and miles, but they're kind of mean. They smell bad. They spit at you, whereas the llamas are famous for being more mild-mannered. If something is mild, it's not strong. It's kind of soft. It's kind of gentle. If you have a mild personality, you're like, oh, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Oh, I don't get angry. I get a little upset sometimes, but I'm very calm and cool, and I keep my emotions under control. I'm very mild. Or if you don't like spicy food, someone says, do you like it spicy? And you say, ooh, no, I like my spices more mild. Not as strong, a little weaker, a little softer, a little on the gentler side. For example, though Randy is usually mild in manner, he still gets angry sometimes, so don't get on his bad side. All right, we'll take a break and then we'll be back with one more, I think, weird hybrid.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天课文介绍了虎狮和狮虎这两种混种动物，接着来介绍第三种是北极灰熊。我们先补充一下 ，Grizzly Bear 就是灰熊。 Polar bear 是北极熊，我们把 grizzly 跟 polar 做结合，变成 growler。那么 growler bear 就是北极灰熊了。关于这种动物的描述呢，在加拿大已经传闻好几个世纪，直到2006年，有一只北极灰熊遭到射杀，那对它的 DNA 进行检验后，才证实它的存在。随着灰熊和北极熊的地盘因为全球暖化而开始重叠，北极灰熊将很可能变得更常见了。单字 territory 就表示动物的领地啊、地盘，它也有领土的意思。那么下一个要介绍的是骆马驼。骆马驼啊，一半是南美洲的骆马，一半是中东的骆驼。那把 camel 骆驼和 llama 骆马做结合，变成 comma 就是骆马驼的意思。好，那它是杜拜一个繁殖中心特别的产物，被设计成跟骆驼一样强壮，但是具有骆马的温和个性，还有产毛的能力。我们的单字 creation 是名词，表示制造、创造，这首是不可数名词。那它也可以当可数名词来指创作品啊、产物的意思。再来看到 mild， 它是形容温和的、和煦的。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，这边我们来学习现在完成式搭配 since 或是 for 的用法。现在完成式 have 加上过去分词 pp 是表示说某个动作啊或状态到现在为止已经持续或是存在一段时间。那以下介绍几种常见搭配用法。你可以用主词加上 have 加 pp， 后面搭配 for 加一段时间，或者是呢后面改搭配 since 加上过去式的子句，或者是呢你可以在后面搭配 since 加上过去的时间点。那我们看3个例句。Zach has wanted to be an actor for a long time. Zach 想当演员很久了。Zach has wanted to be an actor since he was 5. Zach 从5岁就想当演员了。Zach has wanted to be an actor since childhood. Zach 从小就想当演员。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
Geep. Goats and sheep are often kept together on farms, so there are plenty of opportunities for species mixing. Their offspring, however, are almost always born dead. Sadly, only a handful of live geep have ever been recorded. They are so rare that one, born in Botswana in 2000, became something of a national star. Species mixing is a complicated business. Often it results in genetic dead ends. Most hybrids are unable to have offspring of their own, but other times it can help creatures adapt to rapidly changing environments. In either case, it offers us an amazing view into the complicated mechanics of evolution.
All right, so we're back with our third hybrid animal of the day. Yesterday we looked at the really obvious and cool ones, right? Tiger and lion hybrids. I mean, that just makes sense. And then we began today with the one that's totally wrong. Grizzly bears and polar bears, growler bears. That's a terrible idea. And then we moved on to commas, or cammas, I guess you could say. Those are interesting. Kind of makes sense. I don't really see the point. And that brings us to our final one, geep. Now this one I definitely put in the why. Why bother? Goats and sheep are often kept together on farms. Yeah, so there are plenty of opportunities for species mixing. Sure, but it's not been done because why bother? The sheep are here, the goats are here, they're fine. We don't need to make them a new thing. But you can, that's the point. You can make them a hybrid. It says their offspring, however, are almost always born dead. That's not good. Why do we keep trying to do this then? If nature says, nuh-uh, that's not going to work, then we should listen to nature and just go, all right, goats, sheep, let's just stay in our sides and we won't do this. Because when we try, it doesn't work. They're born dead because the genetics just isn't quite there to make it viable, to make it, able to live. Sadly, it says only a handful of live geep have ever been recorded. Again, why are people still trying? They are so rare that one, born in Botswana in 2000, became something of a national star. Well, there you go. Well done. The one geep who kind of made it to the big time, lived past its own birth, and became a big star in Botswana. So that's great. I hope it had a happy ending and the geep retired and lived a long life. But anyways, let's get back to this idea of hybrid. It says species mixing is a complicated business. Indeed it is. A lot of science is going on there, and it can result in all sorts of wonderful and sometimes not so wonderful creatures. It says often it results in genetic dead ends. As this explains a genetic dead end, most hybrids are unable to have offspring of their own. That's what we're talking about. Taigans, ligers, mules, of course, those donkey horse. They can't, those donkey horse hybrids, they can't have their own babies because it's all a little, complicated. And if something is complicated, that means there's a lot of different things involved in it. It's not simple. It's not easy. If something is simple or basic or easy, there's not a lot to understand. I can explain it to you in 5 minutes. You'll get it. You'll understand it. But if it's complicated, oh my God, how much time do you have? Here's a stack of books. If you read all these books, you'll start to understand it because I'm talking about, you know, building moon rockets or nuclear power or how baseball works, things like that. Very complicated, a lot of rules, a lot of different weird things going on. The design of the machine is quite complicated, so it isn't easy to fix. It's not easy, it's not simple, it's complicated. Back to the article. But other times, making hybrids, but other times it can help creatures adapt to rapidly changing environments. True. In either case, it offers us an amazing view into the complicated mechanics of evolution. That is very true. And also why it's all very complicated and also maybe something we should be careful about, you know, getting involved with before we create something even worse than growler bears. Anyways, we'll talk about this verb adapt now. To adapt is to change something to make it fit the situation better. As the weather changes through the seasons or even through one day, you might have to adapt your clothing. If you buy something new, you might have to adapt to it because you have to change things in small ways, but in important ways also to get used to or to make it fit or work in the current situation, which is different from what's happened before. So what's happened before will require you to adapt. Here's Kara. Kara has adapted quickly to life in the big city. She lived in a small farm town for many years, but now she lives in the big city. She's taken Ubers. She's ordering her food on Food Panda. She's doing everything like a city person does because she's adapted. All right, let's go to our what do you think question. If you could create a hybrid animal, what animals would you combine and why? That is a tough question. Well, I'm always interested in sort of extremes. So what's the biggest animal that I could then mix with the smallest animal? Could I get an ant and a whale to breed? I don't think so. But what about a mouse and an elephant? Could I get those to breed? And would the elephant be afraid of itself? Because elephants are afraid of mice. Oh, so many complicated questions, so many things to imagine. I don't think I'll do it. I think I'll just go have a snack. How about you guys? What kind of hybrid animal would be the animal of your dreams or maybe the animal of your nightmares or maybe both? Let's talk about that and we'll see you back here sometime soon in the future. Until then, take care. Don't become a hybrid and we'll see you back here soon. Bye.
下一个要介绍的是山绵羊 geep， 这个字是由 goat 加上 sheep 组成。那么山羊跟绵羊在农场上常常会饲养在一起，因此就有很多机会让物种混合。不过啊，它们的后代几乎都是出生就死亡了，只有少数活的山绵羊曾被记录下来。 它们非常的罕见，以至于呢，有一只在2000年在波札那出生的山绵羊，它在某种程度上有点像是全国明星哎。那么课文最后就写到说，物种混交呢是一件复杂的事，通常会导致遗传死路。 意思就是说啊，大部分混种都没办法有自己的后代。不过有时候呢，它却可以帮助生物适应快速变化的环境。好，单字 complicated， 它是形容复杂的、难处理的。那么 adapt 是动词，表示适应。注意它是不及物动词，我们后面常常会接 to 加名词。再来，文中用到 dead end， 就是指死路、死胡同或者是僵局的意思。这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。这边我们来学习 so 加上形容词或副词，加上 that 子句，可以表达如此怎么样，以至于怎么样，非常怎么样，结果怎么样。那这个句型呢，是用来强调这个形容词或副词，而 that 子句则是说明结果。我们就先来看 so 接形容词的例句。The book was so interesting that I couldn't stop reading it. 那本书非常有趣，以至于我读到欲罢不能了。再来看 so 接副词的例句。Jake laughed so hard that he fell off the chair. Jake 笑得很用力，结果从椅子上跌下来了。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Growler bears. Stories of this beast, half grizzly, half polar bear, have been reported in Canada for centuries. However, it was only proven to exist in 2006 after one was shot and its DNA was tested. As the parent species' territories begin to overlap due to global warming, growler bears will likely become far more common. Camas. Half South American llama, half Middle Eastern camel, camas are the special creation of a breeding center in Dubai. First created in 1998, camas were designed to be as strong as a camel, but with the mild personality and wool-producing abilities of a llama. Geep. Goats and sheep are often kept together on farms, so there are plenty of opportunities for species mixing. Their offspring, however, are almost always born dead. Sadly, only a handful of live geep have ever been recorded. They are so rare that one, born in Botswana in 2000, became something of a national star. Species mixing is a complicated business. Often it results in genetic dead ends. Most hybrids are unable to have offspring of their own, but other times it can help creatures adapt to rapidly changing environments. In either case, it offers us an amazing view into the complicated mechanics of evolution.
Costing 400 million NT dollars to construct over 4 years, Shui Business Organization's Shui Villa initiated the concept of City Villa by making each guest room look like a small urban mansion. As soon as you walk into the room, you will feel relaxed in the fashionably designed space. Incorporating Eastern and Western aesthetic elements, the room is decorated with artwork from different places, including fascinating animal sculptures and antique furniture from European castles. The hotel is adorned with flowering trees from Shui Business Organization's own farm in Miaoli County, so that guests can have the luxury of enjoying a forest view in their private yard, or while they are using the jacuzzi in their room. Furthermore, each room comes with high-quality audiovisual equipment, such as a 70-inch TV for watching hit movies and a karaoke machine. There is also a wonderful bathroom, complete with a steam room and sauna. Imagining they are the owners of luxurious mansions, guests can invite their friends over to have parties or hold business meetings. At Shui Villa, guests can enjoy nature, even though they are in the city.